Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anko the Tutor, and today we do a very significant task, more or less of but regardless of how much you know, it doesn't matter. There's something, or if it doesn't matter if you don't know how to put it to people, if you don't know how to tell your story well, someone won't know really who you are or what you've achieved so far. There's a story. There's an analogy of the garnered egg. It's used to, it's basically, today if you mention an egg, the first thing that comes in your mind is a chicken. Yeah, why chicken? Well, of course, even a fish lays over 5,000 eggs, but nobody knows. Isn't 5,000 even 1 million or 5 million eggs? But nobody knows it for what it is. I mean, nobody associates the fish with an egg. Except, but imagine, I mean, a normal chicken does about 20, they're about 20 eggs, 20, 30, I don't know. I'm not sure of the exact numbers. I'm not good in agriculture. But when someone mentions an egg, the first thing that comes in your mind is a chicken. Now, the analogy tells that the analogy is just basically there to explain that if you do not shout your achievements, and by shouting, you know, a chicken really makes a lot of noise after doing that egg. You notice if you've stayed in the rural areas, it makes a lot of noise, goes out, and everybody knows ishamalizana na whatever it was doing. So that is laying an egg. So basically, you're supposed to shout your achievements. Once you're done with once you want to present your story, you need to be in a position to put your accomplishments, so that someone who really doesn't know anything about you understands who really this character is. And that way, and through, how you express your achievements really matters, because at the end of the day, it's what you say. It's not what you really have, but what you say you have that people pick from. Now, I'll give an example. Whatever you see on the screen is, I've said basically how to draft a professional CV, but alternatively, I wanted to say, how to avoid common mistakes in a CV. But I guessed, there's a common subtitle, so I had to do this. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to know how to put your achievements. I'll explain that using the Kenyan high school diploma, that is KCSE. We miss it out, really miss it out, and that's where everything goes wrong. Even in high, I'm not sure if really you need to be reporting your primary marks, but in high school it really matters. But of course, if you got above 400, report it. Say, I got 406. Say that. Yeah. So the other thing is, don't use Word to draft your CV. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to demarketize Microsoft Word, but the thing is, you're using Word document to draft your CV. Someone has an excellent, superb PDF that has been drafted from an online website that I'll show you in this video, that you'll see and wonder, wow, where did this CV come from? Because designing of that CV really matters, and it's not about being fancy. It's really about making that CV appealing on the eyes of the person reading it. The other thing is, use action words. Of course, everybody knows the role of a lawyer. Is more or less of defending. This is what you do as a lawyer. Any lawyer in the world does this. Any accountant will always receive and spend money on behalf of the company. Perhaps you need to frame what you achieved in that department that you are as an accountant. You have your CPA. Everybody knows what a CPA does. You don't need to say things that are obvious. So most of you miss it out because you give general adjectives, general description of what you did, instead of giving what you achieved, you give your job description. They do know your job description. Today, I'm a data analyst. They know what a data analyst does. There's more of visualization, there's more of analysis, there's more of, carrying out research, data collection, data cleaning. I don't need to give that on my CV. What I need to do is give what I achieved during my tenure in that docket. The other thing is, you need to use numbers. By the way, where you being number one in a class of 10 students is different from you being number one in a class of 900 students, like the case of Maranda High School. If you are index 7 in Maranda High School in a class of 700 students, it's the same index 7 in Nyalugunga Secondary, where only 100 students were there. Yeah, so you need to know how to draft. You need to put numbers in your CV so that someone understands the actual picture of what it really meant to be index 7 in a class of 700 students and index 7 in a class of 70 or 60 students. Yeah, use numbers even in describing your GPA. That is really important. Don't say I just graduated the second upper. Of what points? Perhaps this is not your fault. Perhaps other schools don't give GPAs, but if you have an opportunity to give your I'll also show you how to do a rough GPA. I'll also recommend a website that you can go do your GPA. I'll show you how I did mine, then you get to understand what I mean by GPA, and perhaps that will assist you to go create some very appealing stuff. That will assist you in redrafting your CV. So these 4 areas I'll touch today. Then my next video I'll teach how to do a cover letter, because a cover letter is basically a front page of your CV. A cover letter, that's why it's called a cover letter. Cover letter means it covers everything. It entails, it's just a portrayal. It's a portrayal. It's more or less of a portrait of what is in that you have achieved, including your academic credentials, your professional experience, your training, and everything. So it's a cover letter. It's not an application letter. Sorry to say so. People think it's an official letter that you write, reference, It is important to do that, but a cover letter really is a summary of your achievements, and summary of achievements tailored to that role that you're applying to. I'll give the differences. I don't know if I'll have enough time. Perhaps I'll do another video also to explain more, but I'm sure whatever I'll cover in this video will be enough for you to just start you off in doing your professional CV. So let's start off by explaining what I meant when I said you need to know how to. So this first point here of how to put your achievements, more or less of how to report your achievements. So now let me move to how to explain that. Now I'll give an example. As we said, we're building a character of someone who got an A- in KCSE. So we're calling this person Uncle the tutor. So this is the first name, the middle name, and the surname. So this guy got an A- of 76 points. 76 points in KCSE. Now, the other thing before I proceed, please ensure your CV is on an international standard. And by international standard, don't mention a paper or a test that is not known. You have your own driving school there that gives, I don't know what it gives. Please ensure you mention a name that is accredited internationally, because that CV of yours is your image that you present to the international community or even local community. So if you say KCSE, nobody understands what is KCSE. Only Kenyans understand what is KCSE, or perhaps some few recruiters in maybe outside Kenya understand what is KCSE, or someone has to Google KCSE. What you need to know, this is not KCSE in your CV. This is called a this is called high school diploma. You don't say KCSE. Nobody knows what is KCSE. Then perhaps now that you want to also to include your local community, you can say high school diploma into bracket KCSE. That is allowed, so that someone knows in KCSE the high school diploma, in Kenya, the high school diploma is known as KCSE. Not just saying KCSE. Don't assume everybody knows. Same thing we're being told in geography. Don't mention a mountain in your village that nobody knows of except your village members. So now, when you're reporting your KCSE points, and perhaps this should apply to all Kenyans. I don't know other countries what system you guys use, but I know in Kenya it's in points and is out of 84 points. How 84 points are built, I guess you know, but it's just 12 times 7 subjects. Best performed, I suspect. I'm not sure. So 76 out of 84 is not 76%. Don't ever say 76 points in your CV. Let's do that. Here is my calculator. That is 76 divided by 84. That is 90. That is 90.48%. Please report this. This in the United States of America is an airplane. But this 76 points, if they take it as percentage, this is a B plane, if I'm not wrong. It's a B plane. It's actually a B minus. And that's why most of you end up missing opportunities. You apply with the UNICEF, you apply with the WHO. These guys apply international standards. So if your CV is in local standards, you'll miss it out because they can't pick a B minus and miss out someone who got an airplane. But if you say 90.48%, they'll know this is an airplane. So it's an equivalent of an airplane in the United States. And that's how you'll get that job. But so that you don't bring any confusion, because if you write 90%, and actually I'd prefer you putting it in 2 decimal places, only 2. And this, as if you have anything, let me explain something here. So if you have anything below a B plus, that is the total percentage. Perhaps you have 66 points, or you have maybe 72 points. If you divide 72 by 84, this is what? Let's do that. 72 divided by 84. So this is 85.71. This is okay because this is okay because this is beyond 84%. Yeah, 84 points. Sorry, not percent. Beyond 84. I'm comparing the percentages with the total points we have in Kenya. But if you have 66, this one you report in 2 decimal places because you need to also do away with the confusion in Kenya, because also we have Kenyan recruiters who perhaps would be interested in what you're doing. Now, if you have 66 out of 84, that is 66 divided by 84, that is 78.57. Don't write 0.57, just put 79. But what you do, 79%, then include what? 66 over 84. If you put 79, by the time someone sees 66 out of it, and then they load that this is a B plane in Kenya, that will be, you'll be on your final stages in an interview, by the way. But if you say 66, my lord, if you say 66 points in USA, this is equivalent to, I don't know if it's a C minus or a C plane, I'm not sure, but it should be around C somewhere there. So you need to know your craft well. Yeah, you need to understand your craft well. You need to know how to report these points on your CV. So what you do when now reporting this, perhaps now let's go back to perhaps you can even use someone who got a B plane of 66 or a B plus of 70. Perhaps that is normally the average in economics. I don't know, most students in campus who are actually doing good courses have I think a B plus. So let's work with 70 points out of 84. This is what? 70 divided by 84, that is 83%. Then you say this is the same as 70 out of 84. Out of 84. So someone who is in the international community, but they don't include the grade. Please don't. Just write the exact percentage. So someone will judge according to whatever they'll see. In a Kenyan setup, someone will think this is 83 points. You're saying it's on 83%. Perhaps you're saying percent, but you know what you're doing there. You really know, because most of them don't have enough time to look at this. They'll have enough time to look at this. So if 83, they'll just pitisha who knew to, and that's how you'll end up getting that job. At the end of the day, by the way, it doesn't matter. You learn on the job. Whether you're put on the same room with someone who got 83 points, you learn on the job. It doesn't matter. Because if you put also there at a B+, this will be so visible than this. Yeah? So if you make a mistake of putting the grade instead of the points, then that's a mistake already. But the reason why I'm putting these brackets is because you also don't want to create any confusion to the recruiters. No. We are not doing that. Let them not see as if you're lying to them. 70 out of 84. You're a man of numbers. You're a lady of numbers. You're a lover of numbers. Someone will look at you and be like, okay, because you never lied in the first place. It is 83%. And that's why it's a B+. Because 83% in US is a B+. But you guys, if you didn't know, that's why it's out of 84 and it's a B+. Because 83% and a B+, I think in the United States, is it 80? It is a B plane. No. 85 to 89, this is an A-, if I'm not wrong. But someone confirm that. So 80 to 84, this is a B+. So if you write 83%, someone in the international community will know you had a B+. So if they wanted to take someone with a B plane and above, they'll pick you. But if you write a 70%, this is a C, or C+. You understand me? We're done with the cases. This is how you report your points. Please go check your CV. We'll work with this. We'll do a sample CV, not even 76. We'll actually do 70 points out of 84, and then we proceed with doing the total percentage. So you find someone in Kenya, perhaps I know of a lady who got 82 out of 84. But you see, if you report 82, this is a B+. And this someone is applying will be disqualified by someone who got an 85% in the US. But this guy, this is 97%. Yeah? So if you say 97%, someone will know this is an A+. Because an A+ is equivalent to an airplane in Kenya. Are we together? Let's proceed. So let me clear this. Now, let's go to something else. Now, the mistake that I said in mistake number 2 was, please never use a Word document to draft your CV. I have nothing against Word document, but please, for your CV to look professional enough, use websites that do have designs. Unless you're really good in Word document, that you're really good, you can do some similar CV, same to whatever websites offer. I'll do the CV at the end of this. Perhaps in this video, as we proceed, I see I still have time, a lot of time. We'll do a CV, and then you guys see what I mean when I say the design really matters. It has to be appealing. Come on, these guys have thousands of applications. If you take a CV that looks like you just did your KCPE the other day, come on, it will be thrown away, and perhaps even you got very good grades. But if you don't know how to make that CV appealing to them, it will be thrown away. So now that is mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is, the point number 3, you need to use action words. Now, by action words, you need to say, and perhaps I'll need to maybe add this. You need to also report achievements and not roles, because everybody knows the role of an accountant in a company. Come on, everybody knows the role of an electrical engineer. But if you do not say what you achieved, perhaps you have no reason including that achievement on your CV. Now, let's go to let me show you what I mean by action words and reporting your achievements. Now, remember we have a character. We said Uncle the tutor. Uncle the tutor worked as an accountant at KCB, maybe Machakos. not even like an accountant, perhaps let's say an accountant, someone in the bulk cash. Normally if you go to any KCB bank or any bank, you'll see there's normally someone who handles bulk cash. I don't know if it's something that happens today. It's been a minute. So you want to say you are an accountant. We think those recruiters don't know the role of an accountant. You think so? You think you think you can teach them the role of an accountant in a company? Yeah. Then and then also, okay, I'll go to perhaps specifying the exact naming of an accountant, because normally we have AP, we have AR, we have all these roles. We have someone who does the accounts payables, accounts receivables, someone who does what? I don't know. I'm trying to imagine what exactly, what these people, the roles in accounting. That is something I'll touch on later. But for now, we need to describe what you achieved. So if you were there and you perhaps were given maybe a post, or you went into a team and you joined a team. So you said, okay, let's say, let me give a good action words. Say perhaps you made reports, perhaps you did an automation of reports, perhaps the ARs or the accounts receivables coming in, perhaps you made some auto receipting, so that the receipts just automatically generates the, once someone does a payment, it generates the receipt automatically. So what you need to do is auto method the reporting, the receipting process. I tend to pronounce words with the spellings. Process. Automate the receipting process within 2 weeks, and reduced the receipting process from 2 days to 3 minutes. Now here I'll touch on 2 things. I wanted to begin. One, I've used an action word, automated. That is what I did. It's an achievement I achieved in that company. It's an achievement. It's something I did. It's an action I did. Then what did you do? What did you automate? The receipting process, because they know an accountant is also responsible for the receipting process. Then, so you also need to do what? You need to include numbers in your craft, in your CV, in your descriptions. Because I said first, why did you have to automate in the first place? Because perhaps you went into a company that has good developed processes that you don't need, there was no need for automation. But why did you need to automate? Because the process used to take about, how long did you take to automate the process? 2 weeks. Then what was the result? I reduced the receipting process from 2 days to what? 3 minutes. This is the actual achievement. Now, you guys, this is actual achievement. If you guys are keen, my answer is in the format of star. What was the situation? More or less of what was the circumstance, so the receipting. What was the task I was to automate? What was the achievement? The receipting process moved from 2 days to, no. What was the achievement? I managed to automate the receipting process. Then what was the result? Now the receipting process took 3 minutes from previously taking 2 days. You're trying to report your achievement using numbers. Or for instance, you were in sales. Of course, anybody knows the role of a salesperson. You need to find customers, blah blah blah, But how you report that on your CV is different, totally different. How you report that? Perhaps let's do someone who was doing sales. So what you need to is improved or rejuvenated sales growth rate by 10% between entrance to the company and exit. If that is if you're done with the company, or if you're still there, you state the time when you came into the company since 2021, perhaps, or 2020 to date. Or if you've left the company, then you talk about the percentage you improved from when you came in till the time you left. That is another way. Rejuvenated or improved or revamped. You need to know the adjectives of how to put the action words. The other thing, perhaps you're in leadership. You led maybe a team. What kind of team? Yeah? What kind of team? So you say, perhaps I led a team of 10 members, or maybe 10 members in accounting or finance department. Yeah, perhaps this is a startup company department. To do what? To achieve a 20% increase in collections, 30% decrease in debt, or perhaps accounts receivables. Then what else? What did you do as well? And 100% efficiency in financial reporting. You see, this is an achievement. So someone knows this guy was leading 10 members in his department or her department. In what department? Finance department. To do what? To achieve 20. These are now the achievements that you did. 20% increase in collections is it's not a joke. But if you manage to do it, then we can trust you with whatever role we're about to give you. 30% decrease in debt. The biggest challenge with many companies, and especially in accounting, is the debt that is outside. Most of it turn up to be a bad debt. A bad debt, for those who don't know accounting terms, bad debt is pesa yenye utailipwa, money that you'll never receive. So 100% efficiency. You need to report your finances. That's why there's normally a report. You see in most AGMs, you'll see someone reading something, accruals, blah blah blah, financial reporting. You need to report that. How do you report that? You need to report it in terms of percentage. What level of efficiency did you guys achieve? It's 100% or 95%. There are some hiccups along the way. 95% achievement. Yeah, that is how you report your achievements in a professional experience. You need to tailor make according to your role, your profession. We're just building a sample here. This is just for the sake of teaching. Then the other thing we need to also know is also on the high school part. Just let me take you a little back. So in high school, regardless of the school, by the way, sometimes how you report it is what is really what tells what school you are. If you are number 76 out of 900 students, let's do the percentage. 76 divided by 900, so that's 8.4%. This is top 9% of your class. Then also, so when you're reporting, you're saying I graduated top 9%. Then now this 9%, you say there is 76 out of 900. But this is, you only put this number if it is really significant. Perhaps maybe your position 7 out of 900, that's when now you report the person. But if you see this is way, 76 is a lot of, I mean, you really are not even in the top 10 or even top 20s, you leave it alone. Don't even include it. Unless you're in top 10, do not include the exact position. So perhaps in a class of perhaps 100 students, if I say top 1%, that means I was number 1 out of 100 students. Yeah, so I can even include this. This is very okay. But if you are top 10%, don't include the number. Anything above 10 or anything close to even 5%, no. Just write top what percent. Or perhaps you can say same thing, 9%. Let's work with the 9% that we said. So top 9% in a class of 900 students. So someone doesn't know really exactly is 70, maybe 76 out of 900. No, but he knows you are among the cream of that school, because top 10% is normally the cream of the class. So someone knows this, you are cream de la cream of that class. Are we together? I think that is very, very straightforward. So you need to know how to report that, but I'll show you in when we're doing that sample CV. So this is just on reporting on positions and exact numbers, using numbers, and of course knowing how to report your achievements. So now perhaps let me go straight into reporting. Before I proceed there, let me say something. One thing people don't know is that a driving license is a certificate. That Brookside maths contest certificate, or Olympiad maths contest certificate that you're hiding, yes, it's participation, but please, it's important, include it, because that shows your love for numbers. But there's a way also you report it. I'll show you on that CV that I'll be doing. Now let's go straight into doing the sample. Let me go straight into what. So we have our CV ready. So we have our, I said use search flowcv.com. This is what you write, is flowcv.com. This is what you'll use. But of course I have account, so I don't need to use that, so I'll use this. So once you create the account, you log in, and then this is what you'll see. Yeah, let me just try, maybe perhaps show an example of what I mean. Yeah, let me just go straight into this. Get started. This is what you'll be told to do. You get started, then you log in. So once you've logged in, see, I'm already logged in, so that's why it's telling me to log out. But in this case, you come in your end, you won't see anything here. You'll just see add resume. So you'll start with this. Yeah, so this is what you do. So this is what you'll see. I have my account signed in here. Now but this is just a trial account, just to explain what I mean, just to use it for explaining. Now the first thing is, now as we're trying to create our guy that we said is called Uncle the Tutor. So first name, let's do a full name. So Uncle the Tutor. Job title, he's a tutor. Oh, let me say mathematics. Perhaps we need to create an accountant who, an accountant stroke is a tutor, perhaps tutor. Then he's also a writer. Write all the titles that you know or yourselves. Then email, Anchor Carissa, at gmail.com. What else? Phone, we can use just general numbers, plus 25471010. Okay, just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, this one, yes, these are just random numbers. You notice as I write, we can see a template here. You see how it's being organized. This I doubt, unless you're really good in Word, you cannot find it in Word. Then city, you can say Nairobi, where exactly, of course Kenya. But if you have real address on where you stay, or perhaps you use, you can add that. The next thing is you just save. Now, still on the same profile end, on the personal details, you need to add links. Yep. So links, view all. Perhaps you have a website. You can say there it's Anchor the tutor.com. That is save that. If you have another link still you want to add, let's also see. You can also have a YouTube channel, YouTuber. There's a YouTube channel. Perhaps this one I can create a real channel. This is it. Here you go. You have that link. You paste the link here. You have your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn. You can also Anchor the tutor. But there has to be a link. There is normally a link for LinkedIn. Don't linked in. I'm just creating random links. The LinkedIn save. Yeah. So if you look at this, and by the way, we're not even done with customization. We're not even done. This is just what you've created, but I'll show you how it even look beautiful. The next thing, once you've done this, please don't add any photo. The next thing you need to do is add content. On content, the first thing you need to add, unless you have experience longer than the time you've taken to do your education, please start with education. So the first thing you need to do is what degree do you have? Perhaps even before we go to education, there's normally a profile that you'd want to create. Who are you? And actually, even the website says introduce yourself by pitching your skills and explaining how they can be of value to a company. Now, this is an accountant we are creating. So, an accomplished accountant with a CPA. Actually, you don't need to define what is a CPA because they really understand. CPA K and with attention, and who is committed to deliver the very committed to go beyond limits, or go overboard, go beyond limits to deliver the necessary, deliver superb results. The other thing, so someone knows already you are an accountant. The other thing is a man or a woman. A man committed, okay, not really a man, an individual should commit, keen on attention. Okay. Okay, skill really skilled, but a man with attention to detail in everything he or she touches. A self-driven, a self-driven fellow who requires minimal to zero guidance to deliver on tasks. By the way, I'm doing this, please don't go copy and put the same thing on your end. That is very bad. The other to deliver the other thing, to deliver on tasks. The other thing you need to tell them, perhaps you're a quick learner who takes the smallest time to be trained on new tasks and skill set. Now, someone will ask me, why have I said what I've said here? Now, if you notice, I've listed them. I can actually also, do some listing here. Just remove this. So let's read one by one and get to know why I included it. So, an accomplished accountant with a CPA and who is committed to go beyond limits to deliver the superb results. To deliver not just but superb results. That is one. You have an accountant who is an accomplished because you have a CPA and who is committed to go beyond limits. Okay, CPA is part of the education, but still an accomplishment because it's very few people who get to CPA. Most of them, most people I know are at this. I mean, it doesn't matter. Perhaps maybe I know the wrong people, but those I know, I think, are in their final stages, or very few people who have finalized on CPA. So you're telling a company, I can go beyond limits to deliver superb results. That is essential to any company. With attention to detail, in everything you touch. That means in everything you touch, if you have attention to detail, that means we expect almost zero errors in what you do. We expect, everything to be proofread before you deliver it to the management team or anyone. So that is, essential to any company. Self-driven, people really don't like doing this thing of micromanaging people at workplaces, because people are busy trying to deliver. You can also actually add a tolerant. Is it a tolerant? No. A fellow who can work under pressure and deliver results in time constrained environments. See? Because everybody is always under pressure in any corporate setup. I know majority. Wherever all the companies I've worked with, there's always pressure, very short deadlines, and by that's why I say time constrained environments, or within short deadlines. You can also say that. A self-driven fellow who requires minimal or zero guidance or supervision to deliver on tasks. And then a quick learner who takes the smallest time to be trained on new tasks and skill set. Nowadays, if you notice, most of the big four companies, KPMG, mentioned them, KPMG, PwC, all those companies, want people who are actually easily trainable. That's why they hire engineers to be trained to be accountants or auditors. That's why they hire medics to be auditors. because they just want a trainable mind, not really someone who did what they do there. Because even those who did finance will still need to be trained. Even those who did CPAK, even though they'll have an upper hand, but they'll need to be trained. And also those guys can pay for you to go do that CPA that they need. So all they need is someone who can be easily trained and within the shortest time possible, and to deliver the exact same results with someone who was trained a long time ago. That is on the profile. Now we go to the second part. That is the we go to the second part. That is let's add another. Something else. We need to add now education. As I said, you might be tempted to add professional experience, thinking that's the next thing. No, unless you really have good experience that is over 10 years. Please don't. And actually, the tip is, if your experience is less than or equal to the time you took in undergraduate degree, do not prioritize it. No, let it not be the first thing you did. Start with education, because education is what shouts out your experience. Unless also you've worked with very big companies. Perhaps you are in the world, in the WHO, or you worked with the UNICEF, or United Nations or something, any organization that is multinational. Then you start with professional experience. But in this case, if you've recently graduated or you're still in campus, you're trying to draft your CV, start with education, because that's what you've achieved so far. That is at the highest level. You're a recent graduate. Please start with what you have achieved in education. So let's start with education. I'll mention randomly, this guy is in JKUAT, so Jomo Kenyatta, or perhaps let's just do Kenyatta University, or in this case, any, just mention University of Nairobi, University of Nairobi. That is, and then school. Okay, sorry, that is, I need to have done that. Let me just do this. What did you do? A Bachelor of Commerce. Bachelor of Commerce, for instance. Someone who did Bachelor of Commerce, University of Nairobi. Of course, this when and where and exactly, that's your own thing, You need to add that. Once you've saved that, you need to add, okay, your high school. Now, I take you back to what I said in reporting your results. So what did you do? That is high school diploma. Where did you go? Alliance High School. High school. Of course, Kikuyu, Kenya, or blah blah blah, and whatever thing you want to. Now, on the description part, this place here, this is where now you say that whole shit you've been waiting to say. Yeah. So, on the description, that's where now you say, you went to Alliance. Yes. What did you achieve? I graduated top 4% in a class of 600 students, or 620, 625, some random number, 625 students with a GPA of, what GPA did we say? It's we were taking a sample of someone who got 66 points from Alliance. Don't say it's a B plane. No, the GPA of that we said 66 divided by 84. That is 66 divided by 84. That is 78.57. So in this case, you say it is 79%. Then in KCSE. And funny thing, the reason why I'm putting this 79% alone here and then putting in KCSE in between, so that we create a distinction between what you actually got and what you actually report. Then you need to put into bracket 66 divided by 84. Yeah? Okay, sorry, what happened here? Okay, sorry, something happened. I don't know what happened really. We said it's high school diploma. High school diploma. You went to Alliance High School. Alliance High School. Of course, the other thing, now we go to description. I said I graduated top 4% of my in a class of 628 students, and attained a GPA of 79% in Kenya KCSE, then into bracket, that's when now you say it is 66 divided by 84. Yes, so the first thing that is actually, and the other thing you need to do is you need to bolden. You're very specific, and actually even not even leave out the percentage part. This one has to be seen. It must be seen. Then top 4%, bold that. Then in a class of what? 628 students. So the numbers that are shouting here, you see someone, actually those recruiters are normally very busy and with a lot of applicants. Whatever they'll read most is whatever is in bold. 4%, 628 students, 79. So this guy will think, actually they'll read it as top 4. You see? That is the catch. We're done with that. Let me save that. And let me go back to editing the Bachelor of Commerce from University of Nairobi. So assuming you graduated with a second class upper division, this is what you say. So graduated top, I don't know, second class honors upper, as long as there are no many first classes, you should be top 5% in my class with a cumulative. Now, notice the difference. In high school, we said GPA because it's just one exam. It's not cumulative from Form 1 to Form 4. It's just GPA. But in this case, it's cumulative GPA of, in a class of what? In University of Nairobi, for instance, a Bachelor of Commerce class can have about 400 students. With a GPA, cumulative GPA of, now this is where some people also mess it up. A second upper is a second upper, but you see, if your school doesn't provide your transcript, then the better. Like I know University of Nairobi don't give exact grades. You have the freedom to say anything. I'm sorry to say this, but this is how you shout your stuff. You have the freedom to say anything. Nobody will ever go and ask, what did this guy get in their CV? What did they attain? What did this guy achieve in their undergraduate? Nobody knows that. So even if you write 69%, nobody cares. But now, so that you avoid that, you don't know what you really achieved, what you need to do, there's a site called the Kenya Airlift Program. I'm not advertising for anyone. I'm not really advertising, but that's where I did my GPA. Kenya Airlift Program. Let me see if I can manage to log in. So there's this program called the Kenya Airlift Program that actually does the calculation of it does the airlifting of students. So they have a place, once you've put all your credentials, there's a place you can actually calculate your achievements. Yeah. So what you need to do, come put your number of A's, the number of B's, the number of C's, and the number of D's that you have, and even E's if you have them. So in my case, I'll do mine. Out of 54 units, 44, B is 7, C we have 3, then of course 0, and then 0 as well here. So I'll be able to know, once I just do this, they have a way they do this. So if you confirm that, you have a GPA of 3.91. This is mine. But if, for instance, in your case, you guys have 40 units in bachelor, or bachelor of, I don't know, in Bachelor of Economics and Statistics, I know there are 56 units. So out of 56, perhaps you have 20 5 A's, you know, you have what else? B's, let me just see. 30, I don't know, 30, not really, that is too much. That is, let's say 24, that is 40, 24, or perhaps even 20. Let's just do a rough number. 20, that is 45. You have about 11 units. So C's, you have maybe 7, then you have 4 D's, and you are lucky you never got a supplementary. Yeah, so once you've done this, yeah, they'll give you your GPA. If you confirm that, that is 3.63. But if the university doesn't give you this, and I've shown you this so that you go get your actual GPA, because they have a better way of doing the GPA than even the normal GPA calculators online. This is how you report. So you go say, so if you go back to our CV, we said we were reporting what? We were reporting 3.63 out of 4.0. This is international. That is it. You report that you've outnumbered so many people. So you can go, you can go around, all the important numbers. So that's one thing you need to really, this is 3.63 out of, so save that. So someone going through your CV will know this is so and so. They've said they have accomplished this, they have attention to detail, this is what they have achieved. This is how you do your CV. The rest you can do. I don't want to spend much time explaining things that you can do on your own, because they are tailor-made based on you. Those are the most important things you need to do in your CV. Ensure the numbers are in bold. Then especially the key numbers. The number of students in a class really matter. The GPA that you got, the number of students in that class, and definitely the percentage you report in KCSE. Feel free to watch I'll be creating another video on cover letter. Please feel free to watch it. It's really, really important. And please share it to those you think will benefit from this. Then later on,